All right. Well, since we're not going live, we're just going to tape this now. All right. So I am bringing two of my very favorite people to you guys. And, we've been talking a lot at Ciprani Consulting about the two different types of admin hires. And I think these two really, really show that very well. And you'll see as we interview them why I want you to see the difference between the two. So this is Alicia McLee, and she, oh my gosh, you're married. Colin, that is so funny. She just got married. That is so funny. Yay, marriage. And this is Sam Ferrero. Not married yet. If anybody wants to. All right, so we'll embarrass her. So here's the deal. The two of them are very different. They both work in Ciprani Consulting, and they both do recruiting for us at a very high level for administrative assistants. And they're amazing at it because they're looking for themselves a lot of the time, or each other. And so we're going to walk through the differences between the two of them. I always tell Linzee that she is my one with a little more attitude, right? And we'll explain that. And then Sam is our one that might be a little more people pleasing, right? She just loves people and loves to help and loves to do all those things. But the interesting thing is Linzee will do that if Linzee believes in the leader and she actually trusts them and loves them. And so walk us through, what does it take for you to care for somebody? So just so everybody is aware, I might leave my coffee cup full of coffee every day and Linzee will clean it for me, which is not a normal Linzee thing unless she loves you. So walk us through, what does it take to get you there?
I think it has to at the core of it, I have to feel that you deserve it, which sounds really bad, but it's kind of true. I need to know that you're worth my time and I'm going to invest in you and you're going to invest back in me. I need to know that me loving on you and going and doing all the things for you is going to be worth it, and it's not just I'm just spinning my wheels and it's going to be pointless at the end.
And you've worked for people where it wasn't worth it.
Yes.
And what did that relationship start to look like for you? Who were you in that relationship?
They started I'm still gonna do my job and I'm gonna do my job in excellence, but I'm not gonna do the extra things. I'm not gonna go and wash your mug. I'm going to do my job. I'm gonna do my job well, but I'm not gonna do anything extra. I'm not gonna go the extra mile. I'm not gonna stay longer. I'm not going to see a problem and take it 5 extra steps. I'm gonna see the problem, fix it, and then be done.
So she's gonna start to have an attitude a little bit, right, about it. So, and P.S. I don't want anybody to wash my cups, so just in case anybody else is watching. She also threw away my dead flowers that were sitting in here, which is I'll just leave them there, That's what salespeople do. Well, Sam, so you will just take care of all of the people all the time, right? And so has that gone in a bad direction for you at times?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think, I am just somebody who is content to add value. And sometimes people don't necessarily need that value because they're not invested or they're not, excited about their own vision anymore. And so then I'm just trying to add value into an abyss of things that we don't know where that's going. And so it can get exhausting and you do burn out. And so I've definitely been in that place of just being exhausted and not knowing how to help, but still being what can I do? How can I get you where you need to be? And if that person doesn't want to be where they need to be, then it's, what Linzee said about spinning your wheels. You just aren't getting anywhere, but I'm going to keep doing it because that's what I like to do. That's about how you end.
So both of these people tend to be here late on a regular basis. And I'm always are you leaving? What's going on? What's happening? Can I help you get out of here? Right. It's because they operate at a different level and they don't even look at the clock anymore. They love what they're doing, right? Which is great to some degree. I think sometimes we work with people that make it hard. But at the end of the day, you like what you're doing, which is great. And you feel excited to grow a business. So what would stop you from trying to help? What things would have to happen for you to be yeah, I don't really want to work here anymore?
I think it gets to a point where you're trying, or I've tried to suggest things, and it's
how are you going to suggest things? Are you going to be like, or is it going to be very
gentle, subtle suggestion? Maybe we should try things this way. Or I think too, sometimes it's a lack of respect. Like, if I'm suggesting something and there is frustration, or, I don't have time, or just I guess it's a respect thing. Like, I do want to obviously be respected, and I think there's just a point when it does, like, I'm very much a people pleaser, and I can admit that very openly, but I think there is a point that once that respect is lost, like, I have a really hard time easing back into that and then just kind of keep going.
Yeah. How are you going to suggest things?
It does depend a little bit on my relationship. So if it's a new person, I might be a little sweeter, but for you, because we have a good relationship, I'm going to come in and be like, idea, we should do this.
Right.
This is the thing. Let's do it.
Yep. And she'll like, there are maybe times when she might knock on the door and come in and be like, hey, I changed our contract here. And I'll be like, and I'll start to look at it and I'll be like, I can't do this right now. I just gotta right. And she knows, and she's like, okay, when are you going to have it by? And then, now I'm at a point with both of them actually, where I was like, whatever you wrote on the contract, I'm sure it's fine. Like, it's probably better than what I've done. So just go do the thing. Right. And then she goes and implements. And how often do you guys come up with things and try to do things? There's something attacking me. How often do you try to come up with things or do things that aren't even asked of you?
In contracts, I was like, this isn't working, let me fix it.
Yeah. And there's a lot of things that you do. Same with Sam, right? Like, it's a regular thing. Why? What do you think the difference is between somebody who just does what they're asked to do and somebody that starts to, like, take initiative?
They're invested in it. And like, I think for me, like, I know that you're a strong leader. I know that you're invested in the business. You're invested in me and growing both of those things. So I want to do that with you. Like you're working really hard, not just for yourself and not just for what you want and your goals, but you're invested in me and my goals and growing me and bringing you with you. So like, I'm almost your partner to help you move forward. So I'm like, this is your business. You're 100% invested in it and invested in me. So I'm going to be 100% invested in you and what you need from me. So my job might not be to write contracts or to write these systems or procedures, but I see a need for it to get done. So I'm going to do whatever it takes because it's got to get done. I want things to be successful in the future. So I'm going to go the extra mile. I'm going to do the extra thing, even though it's not my job. It needs to get done.
Love it. What about you?
And for me, I think, like, I don't necessarily need to feel like I'm a partner, but I do, if I see a need for somebody to be assisted, like if somebody's going on vacation or if something is happening, like those are the moments that I want to step up and add that value, be helpful, do the helping pieces, be the people pleaser, because, again, I think it's the respect thing. I think, what Linzee's saying here is really valid too, that we are all growing and, there is that mutual respect. I think when you do respect people and you do have a whole team of that, it's really great because then it's like, of course I want to help. I want to jump in and assist because I know that would be given back to me. And I think it's that, mutual give and take that's really nice. Yeah.
So let's talk about differences with the two of you guys really quickly. So constructive criticism, how do you do with it?
I am good with it once I have a minute to process it and sit with it. Like, I don't hold it with me, though. I mean, I hold the the value of it, but I don't necessarily hold the, well, why did that person say that? What's wrong with what I did? I take it, I might cry for a minute. I'm good. I come back, we're great. And then I can put it into play. So right. I just need that minute though.
Yeah.
I will combat it a little bit, I think. And I love to grow and I want criticism, but I also want to know, like, show me why you're right and why I did something wrong. Like, you need to list it out and be like, all right, this is why this could have been better. And I really have that explained, and then I'll be like, okay, cool.
Do people often feel like they're being loved on by you?
No.
So one of the big things with Linzee is, like, we might have to say, like, you're gonna have to smile when you're on the phone so they can hear that you love them, right? And or less sharp and a little more like, I hear what you're saying, why don't we try it this way, right? But you know, it's a huge thing, like for this personality to make people feel like they're loved, like that actually takes some energy from them, right?
Yeah. And I think, I mean, I love my clients very, very much. And I love you very, very much. It's just not my natural state to be like, you're great and wonderful. And why don't you do these things? I'm like, here's what needs to get done. Let's just do it.
Right.
And it comes across, especially emails, a lot colder than I intend it to.
So
I think
email communication here, this is your D personality, right? Even if an SC can show up this way too, but they're quick and fast, right? And it's almost, you're just answering a question in emails or in text or whatever, and maybe not thinking through how somebody might be perceiving it on the other end, right? Miss Sam, do people tend to feel loved by you?
I think so.
Yes,
Yeah.
always. Right? And you're very careful with your word choice and very careful about your emails. And, you know, for the most part, you know, you're going to have good, easy conversations with people, right?
Mm-hmm.
What would totally like upset you? Like what would really upset you with somebody? So like if a boss is really upset and like really mad about something that happened, what happens with you?
It's the disappointment thing. You know, I hate that. I hate letting people down. I think that's where my loving, like, I need to be warm and fuzzy because I want to always, you know, have people in an environment where they feel like they can talk about things. And I don't, you know, disappointing is, my dad always joked as I was a kid growing up that, you know, he was like, I never even have to be hard on you because you're hard enough on yourself because
right.
You just feel like you disappointed. And so I think that's where that comes from, is that if somebody's upset, it's because I feel like I let them down.
Yes.
And I don't like that.
Yes.
So I try to avoid it.
Right. Screaming, yelling, boss really upset, like what does that do to you?
Depends on who it is. Because if it's somebody that I care about and I'm invested, like if you were upset and angry about something that I did, like that whole disappointment, like I am crushed because I want to support you and I want to make things really great because I care about you. But if somebody that didn't have my respect, like I had a boss at a pizza place I worked at, and he would yell, and I'd just be like, "What is your problem? Like I'm doing the things," and I don't care as much because I'm like, you're not important to me.
Still upset.
I'm like,
Doesn't matter.
It's like, okay, I did my job. I'm sorry, you're mad.
So the reason why we wanted to do this and bring this value to you guys is because there are two different personalities that want to serve, you know, bosses and people and can be in the assistant role. And we're constantly trying to figure out which one do people need, right? And to a certain degree, I think most of us need both. And you know, they're in Ciprani Consulting and they're hiring, and they see this so often. We talk about it so often because we're hiring all the time. And then I obviously have two people over in the Ciprani real estate team as well. You know, same thing there. You know, I kind of need both of those people alongside of me. But you have to figure out, if you can only have one, who do you want and how are you going to love on them, right? If you don't have the time to put into somebody and pour into somebody and really grow them and like to win them over, then a Sam might be an easier hire for you at the moment. And that's because she's just going to be whatever you need. I love you. But you still have to take care of both people, right? Like you can't be a jerk to either one because it's going to break them down just in very different ways, right? She's going to vocalize it and tell you you're being a jerk, or shut down and not even talk to you and just be mad. Like there are times when she's overwhelmed I'm like, do you need a hug? And then I'll make her laugh, right? But like, she doesn't want a hug. Like she wants you to get out so she can get her stuff done, right? Sam would be like, sure, I'll have a hug. Like, that'd be fun, right? And so there's just it's very different, and to lead them is very different. And we wanted to show you those personality types because we think it's really important for you to figure out who you need and how to grow your business with the right people. Obviously, you always want people that are, you know, both of these ladies are what I would say humble, very very, very smart, and very much hungry. They want to grow, they want to get better, and they're willing to listen to things that might take them to the next level. They also make me better. So hopefully this helps. And if you have any questions about it or you want to talk about it, let us know. Say bye.
Bye.